It's interesting. You talk about wanting to move to LA, like begging, mom and dad, hey, can I go to LA? And I'm like, can I have a sleepover? Like that's where I'm coming from. And you want to move to a whole different state in a different city. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're so lucky.
Great to have you here.
Thank you. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you here in the studio, the Saints Channel studio, talking with OBA. How? Let's start there. How have you been, man, as a musician and a performer when you don't have the opportunity to be live with folks?
Man, it's been interesting. Like I had the opportunity to perform a couple live stream shows. On that occasion, we literally. One artist had like a 30-minute slot, and then the next artist would come, and there'd only be like maybe 2 or 3 people videoing, and then everyone else would be watching live. So it was different, but it was.
How do you get a feel for that though? Because there aren't you're not able to feed off the energy of a live crowd there.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I do remember sometimes it feeling awkward. I feel like I feed off of the energy of the audience, and that's like definitely my style. So it was definitely like a growing moment, you could say, to like just perform by myself and like with 2 other people. So, but I had a good time. Mm-hmm. So, and that's what my shows are. It's a good time, and my music. So.
You come from a musical family. You know that, obviously. The Bonner family, you hear that and a hush kind of falls over the crowd. Just a tremendous amount of respect for a musical family.
Thank you.
Also, is there pressure?
Man. So I was a recording artist before the Bonner family was. Okay. So I've always
before it was cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess, how do I word it? It's like, I'm used to performing, so it's like the pressure is always, there's always been pressure being a singer. So it's just, we just have fun together. So it's not really like, is there pressure? We just love each other and just love to, any excuse to be around each other, we'll take it. So, so when we're performing together, that's family hanging out. So I wouldn't say there's pressure, but I definitely do fight for my solos. So I'm trying to figure out, so that there's pressure there because I got to get my slot on the album, okay? So I got to do my vocal leases right before I go in the studio, try to get my part.
So with family, but within family, right? Like that experience, not only to be a part of a family, right? We think of memories, our past, our growing up and that kind of stuff, but there's something, I think that's the next level to it when you're performing, when there's music, when you're expressing and being vulnerable with each other through that.
You'll definitely be called out if you mess up on your solo. Uh-huh. That's just how it goes. But it's with love, and it's seldom. So I think we've been singing ever since we were kids, so we kind of know our place in terms of like, okay, you sing this part, you sing that part, I'm gonna nail this part. This dude, Conlon, he always nails that part. Give him the high notes, give him the tenor, the high tenor, first tenor rolls. And Younga, she's incredible at runs. Give her that. Yahosh, he knows how to warm up a crowd really well. So everyone has their roles. Mm-hmm. So when we met, and when times are like, whoa, this is super, like, oh man, big mess up, we it's out of love, so so we get through it together. But
you navigated the waters of going solo before the family was even doing anything official. Mm-hmm. Why?
Man, it's just a love that I've always had. I remember begging my parents when I was like 8. Please, Mom, please let me move to LA. Please, please. And I was just begging, and she finally accepted when I was about 14.
Wow.
And so that's, it's just a desire I've always had.
It's interesting. You talk about wanting to move to LA, like begging, mom and dad, hey, can I go to LA? And I'm like, can I have a sleepover? Like that's where I'm coming from. And you want to move to a whole different state in a different city. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're so lucky.
Lucky. Was it a thing where when she acquiesced, you got to go by yourself? Did the family move? Tell me a little bit about that journey.
So my parents let me go on my own. My brother lived there in Burbank. So I moved in with my brother. We were roomies. And so I literally had to learn how to do things on my own. I had to learn how to take public transportation on my own to get to school, ride the bike on my own. I was so used to I was a spoiled little kid. I was the youngest kid. Yeah. So, Mom, I got to go somewhere. Okay, let me drop you off. So I had to learn how to sell tickets at shows. I had to find my own backup dancers at my school. And even though that was so hard, it was so fruitful. And so I'm just grateful, for those moments of just being tested and the tribulation of learning how to grow up,
When Mom finally said yes, what was that like?
It was like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? It was just like an overwhelming feeling of thank you, Mom. I knew you trusted me, And so it was just an overwhelming feeling of just, wow.
But you finally get the opportunity to do it, and you would hope, though it never is the case, that it's like, she said I could go, and then the rest was a golden paved path to success. I'm sure it wasn't that way.
I mean, it's definitely been, it's not easy. Yeah. It's not easy, but they say what? It takes, to become a pop star, to get to that point, the average amount of time it takes is 10 years. And so I've loved the journey, I've loved it and I've cherished it because it's developed who I am as an artist. And it just, I think that's when you love something, is when you spend so much time on it and you wake up still wanting to do that thing, and just have so much energy to go out and do it again, to perform again, to sing again, to record again. It's just so many moments like that.
For so many musicians, it's such a bittersweet experience with their first song that they ever wrote. Do you remember? Some look back at it and go, "Oh, it's so cringy," or what a basic kind of. Do you remember your first song?
Okay, so when I moved to LA, I recorded a song, and it was called "Let's Get Down," and I wrote it, and I'm new to the creating music game, right? So, for the most part. So it was like when I made the song, it was hot, it was great, and I didn't even think of what it was saying. I didn't even think what I wrote wasn't what came across. So I auditioned. My freshman year in high school, I auditioned for the talent show. And I've always made the talent show. I slayed that audition. I sang my original song, Let's Get Down. I was dancing, let's get down, and I didn't make it. And I come to realize, I talked to my brothers and sisters, and I'm like, yeah, I was singing my song, Let's Get Down, and wait, what? What's the song called? And I said, it's called Let's Get Down. It's like, send me the song. And I come to find out, oh, shoot. They probably thought it was it was not what I was thinking, let's have a good time. That's what I was thinking. Let's have a good time. But Let's Get Down, I guess that's what do they call it? Double entendre? I don't know, man. So I felt so bad. I was like, I told my teacher, why didn't I make it? And she's like, well, maybe look at your song choice. I'm like, oh, okay, can I do a different song? And it was too late. So lesson learned.
So when you came back the next year, were you able to make it into the talent show?
You know what? I changed schools.
Oh.
I changed schools, so I never got the opportunity. I probably went to 5 different high schools.
How come?
We just moved a lot. I think my mom wanted to give me different experiences. I did homeschool once, where I only turned in my packets once a week to the teacher. I went to Hamilton High School, which was really cool. It was an arts type of school.
Cool.
So I think my mom just wanted to make sure I had different experiences. So yeah, Utah was great though. My senior year, I went to Timpview High School.
Okay.
And I consider myself, a Utah native, man, because I spent most of my life in Utah, and it was they were just so open and welcoming. When I came my senior year, it was just you would think that everyone would have their clique, but it was I made friends with this group, that group. It was yo, what's up, dog? Where you been? So it was really such a great experience, so.
You're lucky in the experience of going to different schools and feeling like you're accepted. So many people in the world today, it feels like they try something new and it takes a while, to be able to make friends, to be able to get in with a group. I mean, it's a struggle. Have you always been able to connect with people?
Man, it got harder and harder. I think as you in high school, people, as you get older, you become good friends with people, and I totally see that, when you have a friend you've been with since freshman year, and then here this new kid comes, like, okay, bro, cool, yeah. You're only here for how long? Okay, cool. So, and I was only there for like a year, you know? So I think as I got older, it was harder, you know, because, you know, the group was, I don't know, I guess it was just, I don't know, but I was okay. I still made a number of friends, but it got less and less until I went to TempView. And then it was like, I was a freshman again. Mm-hmm. So shout out to TempView, Thunderbirds, shout out to you guys. So yeah, so I think I was used to it. I've moved around a lot my whole entire life. I was born in Las Vegas, moved to Utah, then Arizona, New York, Utah, California, Utah. Yeah. So I was just so used to it. So it wasn't, sometimes were harder than others, but I had my family, you know, that's something that didn't change. Mm-hmm. My family came with. Yeah. So I had constant friends there and you know, was fortunate to make a few friends on the way.
How much did your music play into being able to transition? Did you find sort of like either faith or hope within lyrics or being able to perform?
It was more of an innate feeling, you know, like. What do you mean? Just like growing up in a musical family, mm-hmm. music, for me, it was just in me. Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't really, I mean, it was more like, it was a feeling that I've always had. My love for music just drove me. So if I was listening to music on the radio, if I was singing with my family, if I was recording a song, that was, it was who I was. So it just naturally drove me, however I did it. So, you know.
I love being able to hear just like the different trials, transitions, but then like just coming back to like center where it's like, yeah, I'm fine. I know I'll be all right.
Yeah.
I've got family and being able to do that. Yeah. You know, I've had you in here now for several minutes and you haven't sung anything, so I'm going to put you right on the spot.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about the song you're going to sing.
I am glad to sing. I'm glad to sing for you, man. I am singing They Don't Know. Okay. And this song is an original. You know, it really is about, I wrote this song because there was a girl I was dating and we would always get back together. Like we'd break up and we'd get back together. And people on the outside never really understood it. You know what I mean? Like, what the heck, man? You know, like, move on, you know? So I think this song was definitely inspired by that because I believed it, she believed it, but everyone else, you know, and maybe you know, rightfully so, you know, they were thinking, you know, is this really a good idea? But to us, you know, they didn't know. They don't know what we have. Yeah. And so that's really what this song is about. They don't know. Today was so alive. You got my heart on revive. Explain how you can read my mind, my mind. And when you whisper in my ear, I hear your voice like guitar. I stay awake with you all night, all night. They see why your music to me play that chord, but they don't see why you're right beside me. Cause they don't know, you know. They don't know, you know. They don't know, but they'll know soon enough. They don't know any better. No matter, we won't wait up. No, we won't. We'll stay in love and kill some time. They see why your music to me play that chord, but they don't see why you're right beside me. Cause they don't know, you know. They don't know, you know. They don't know, you know. But they'll know soon enough. Love that dress you wear, won't leave for nothing, no way, yeah. Know that you like shoe wear, just max my car always, yeah. Oh, they see why you're music to me, but they don't see why you're right beside me. 'Cause they don't know, you know, they don't know, they don't know, but they'll know soon enough. Today was so alive, you got my heart on revive. Explain how you can read my mind, my mind. Thank you. Jadoni on the guitar.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Do you feel like through your music you're able to change hearts and minds?
Man, I mean, I absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This song actually I'm gonna sing is one I don't sing often, and especially as OBA. I just do pop hip hop music, but I love to sing this from time to time, and I just love the responses I get in terms of just how it made people feel and how it made me feel, and then we can develop a close knit relationship, just from talking about Jesus Christ,
Tell me what the song is.
It's called He Smiles at Me. Yeah, it was written by my oldest brother, Mally B.
Want to do it?
I mean, yeah. Can I take my top hat off?
I'll take your hat.
Okay, you'll take one top hat.
I'll make sure it's in a safe space.
Okay, cool.
A song written by your brother is a pretty unique experience to be able to perform that. That's got to be cool.
Yeah, no, when I moved to LA, he was actually writing, he was just on this like wave of making Christian songs. And so I came with him, and when I heard this song that he had already recorded, I was like, wow. It's, it just touched my heart, and I feel like, the song is called He Smiles at Me. If I was there when Jesus was crucified, what would it be like? What would he have said to me? And so, my brother, I really just I feel like he was inspired when he wrote this song, and I love sharing this song. So
let's do it.
Yeah. I won't forget the day, the darkest shades of gray, and the mountains crumbled to the sea. I wish that I could take back all the sins I made, 'cause I don't want you to bleed for me. These tears I cry, you're the reason why I give my life to you. He smiled at me as he waved goodbye. The suffering, my God, please bring him back to thee. As they take his life, he gave it all, and now I watch him as he smiles at me. He smiles at me. Oh, if I was there that day, would I have called your name? I think I might have been too ashamed. I stand for you today, I'll never turn away. And I won't forget the price you had to pay. These tears I cry, you're the reason why I give my life to you. He smiled at me as he waved goodbye. The suffering, my God, please bring him back to thee. As they take his life, he gave it all. And now I watch him as he smiles at me. They nailed him to the cross, pierced him through the side. Heaven's heavy clouds, they begin to cry. He promised he'd live again. He broke the chains of death. He bled for me till there was nothing left. He smiled at me as he waved goodbye. The suffering, my God, please bring him back to thee. As they take his life, he gave it all. And now I watch him as he smiles at me. He smiles at me. Thanks.
Yeah. The visuals portrayed from the lyrics of that song are tremendous. I can't even imagine as you sing, putting yourself in that place of being able to speak to the Savior, the connection that you feel through the music. It's powerful.
Thank you, brother.
To be able to paint a picture of the Savior's mercy, of the Savior's love, is not an easy task. Yet you did it.
Mally B. Mally B. I should take credit. Yeah, I wrote the song. I wrote the song.
But I mean, but you embody it.
Thank you. No, I any chance I get I mean, when that opportunity comes up where I can sing that song, I'm like, please let me, because wouldn't it be so cool to live in Jesus Christ's time? Mm-hmm. You know, like just to feel that, to feel a glimpse of that is overwhelmingly spiritual to me. So,
as Christian people, we sort of understand the Savior and have had an experience and a life with knowing the Savior, right? But to those who haven't had a connection, to be able to find the Savior through what you sing, that's pretty amazing.
Well, hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
Compliments make you uncomfortable. I can tell.
I'm going to reel it in. All right.
So let me ask you this. Has it always been rosy?
I mean, not always. It hasn't always been rosy. You know, there's been times where I wonder if God's listening, you know, and if he's there for me. But I feel like as I strive to do the right things, you know, he's there, you know, and especially when you really need him, you know, my experience, he shows up. Mm-hmm. And it might be different for everyone else where, you know, the way they communicate with God. But, you know, I know how I feel, and I know when it's him. Mm-hmm. You know, I truly believe that. And so, yeah.
Tell me about a time he showed up.
I mean, my mom has definitely, I feel like, you know, my senior year, it was hard. It was hard. At Timpview, there's no D's in Timpview. It's hard. Shout out to Timpview. I love Timpview. Jadoni went to Timpview too. Anyways, I love all public schools.
Sure. All public schools equal. Timpview we like a little bit more. Sure. But what was so hard about it?
It was hard because math is not my strongest suit, okay? And don't laugh, okay? It's hard.
No, listen.
I see you laughing, okay? It's not cool,
no.
Okay? Okay, so no, it was really hard because I'm really bad at geometry.
Sure.
And so my mom, what she did is she would actually even she said, hey, I'll give you $2,000 if you graduate. And so I quit my job. I'm like, $2,000 is way better than $725 an hour. And she came to classes with me.
Wow.
So she came to my English class. She came to my American literature class. She came into, of course, my math class. And it was very embarrassing, but I was like, okay, Mom, you can come. And she came, and I feel like without her presence, I know Jeffrey R. Holland, he talks about how a mother is like a messianic figure. And I feel like if she wasn't there, I wouldn't have graduated. She came up with this brilliant idea to buy flowers, but it was like in a bowl, like a big flower for all of my teachers. So I had literally like five like bowls of flowers, giving them to every teacher, like, thank you so much. So yeah, I passed all of those classes, but I also worked really hard. I had like 3 tutors. My mom got me a bunch of tutors. So in math, so I needed 3 tutors to graduate.
Why did she care so much?
That's just how she is with all of the kids. If she sees a kid falling, she'll move. We'll get up and move for one child. That's what she did for one of my brothers.
Do you have a family?
I mean, no.
So so let me ask you this then.
Do I have like a wife and kids?
Like a wife and kids. So as you look forward to having something like that, you'll certainly carry a part of your mom into that experience.
I definitely will. I hope I can live up to my mom. I hope I can do that. I don't know if I will, because she has such a heart and such a gift of loving others and doing so much for others. And so I'm really appreciative of her and all that she's done for me. She's my biggest fan.
Yeah. I love one of the things that you said, and just to speak it back to you, because I feel like there's so much truth in it. She just showed up, right? So much of life is just showing up,
right?
Not giving up.
Absolutely.
Have you ever given up on anything?
Gosh, on my math tests. And then when she showed up, everything was cool. Like she really pushed me to get good grades, and I spent the extra hours to understand. And the beauty of math is once you get it, you get it. And so once I got it, I was able to do it. But I had to go through 3 tutors to do that. So I think if you have someone, that just shows when you have someone by your side who really loves you. Sometimes I forget, how much I can have an impact on someone's life, And my mom at that moment had a huge impact on my life and always has.
I hope it's not a crude question, but I am curious. What'd you spend the $2,000 on?
Gosh, on my mission.
Oh, yeah?
On my mission.
Okay.
And I wasn't even planning on going.
I feel like there's a story there then.
Gosh, I mean, so before, it was like a series of things, like just people in my life who I saw going on missions. I had a best friend. I have a best friend who said he was going to go, and I never understood. I was never planning on going, but he was like, yeah, he just had his mind made up. So, and just some other experiences that just made me think, Lord, should I do this? And just some spiritual moments where I felt like I shouldn't stay. I shouldn't stay.
So not necessarily go.
Yeah, it was like, you need to get up out of here. So that was my experience. And I'm like, okay. And I wanted to be obedient. I think more than I wanted to go, it was I wanted to be obedient. So, and I did. And I'm grateful I did. And so, yeah, I never got a chance to spend that $2,000 on anything else. So I just put it towards the mission.
As you look at life now, certainly tons of examples from family, being able to perform with family, the lessons from mom, her showing up, and you move forward into what's next. What is next?
Man, an OBA EP.
Okay.
That's next. Just more music.
Let's talk musical influences. Where do you draw that from?
I'm a big fan of Usher.
Okay.
Just the way he's been able to mold himself over time. I think it's you're good at your craft when you can continue to revamp and to sculpt your artistry. And that's what Usher has done for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, he's had a song with Tyrese, and he's had a song, what was that, in early 2000s? And he's had a song with Justin Bieber. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a long period of time. And 2 different artists.
If there's people that are listening to this conversation that want to get into the music industry, right? They feel like they have that either something to say or a passion to share. What kind of advice do you give to those that are up and coming?
Give it your all.
What does that mean?
Give it your all as in don't miss out on opportunities and be ready for those opportunities. There's been times where I wasn't ready for certain things. Like I didn't make my plane. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I missed that recording session, you know, like why the heck did I miss my plane? So just know that, in the music industry, from my experience, it can happen anytime. So just be ready. Just be ready.
Any other sage words of advice? Everyone sitting at your feet going, teach us, OBA.
You got this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Did you have a good time?
I appreciate you, man. I had a great time.
Good.
Thank you.